Hi, I'm Steve Marsden from Southertons. Thanks for pushing play. Look, today I want to talk about Bitcoin. Lots of clients have been talking about it for the last several months, and I've heard Bitcoin is this generation's version of the no-doc loan, or the liar loans as they used to be called. It's also a token that's been invented by somebody who's unidentified, traded on a digital process, if you like, called blockchain, controlled by only the users that use it and not by a Federal Reserve or a central bank. And it's also been called by some naive journalists perhaps a virtual currency, which it manifestly is not, as very few people actually use it to buy and sell things. A virtual commodity is another phrase that's been used to describe Bitcoin, which is probably closer to the mark. Virtual commodity, virtual security. Digital gold is another phrase used, and again, this is not quite right because gold is an element. It can be found on a periodic table like platinum and silver. The other thing I think we've got to be careful of with Bitcoin is the ease in creating cryptocurrencies, unlike real currencies, means that there is no intrinsic value due to its rarity. Now, currently there's 1,200 Bitcoins that exist, but that will increase every time the sun sets. So I thought we should just go over some basics about Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin was invented as a peer-to-peer system for online payments that does not require a trusted central authority like a bank. But it does require you to trust the system. Now, since its inception in 2008, Bitcoin has grown into a technology, a digital currency, an investment vehicle, and a community of users. And since anything digital can be copied over and over again, the hard part about implementing a digital payment system is making sure that nobody spends the same money more than once. Now, traditionally, this has been done by having a trusted central authority, for example, like PayPal, that verifies all the transactions. The core innovation that makes Bitcoin special is that it uses consensus in a massive peer-to-peer network to verify transactions. And this results in a system where payments are non-reversible, their accounts can't be frozen, and transactions are extremely low. So it does have some attraction. It's also like a big honesty system, but everyone is keeping their eye on each other. And you'll hear and you'll read about Bitcoin miners or miners. They're not the miners that we know the term. These are computer nerds that are the backbone of the whole Bitcoin network, and they oversee the network and the process of every Bitcoin transaction. Now, without the network, it would collapse and all value would be lost, and nobody seems to know who these real people are, other than the ones who have been brave to come out in documentaries over the past 12 months. Now, the users are rewarded with new Bitcoins proportional to the amount of computing power they're contributing to this network. Now, as we mentioned above, there's no central person or central authority in charge of Bitcoin, and various programmers donate their time developing the system with open source Bitcoin software. And they can make changes, or they can propose changes subject to the approval of the lead developer, who appears to be Gavin Andresen. It's in the miner's best interest, or the Bitcoin miner's best interest, to only accept changes that are good for the Bitcoin currency in the long run. Now, these checks and balances supposedly make it difficult for anyone to manipulate Bitcoin, but as I said, the key word is you have to trust the system, and it's a faceless system as well. So the best way to learn about Bitcoin is to spend time doing more research. It's not an investment that we would recommend due to its high volatile state. But for further information, give our team a call on 4972 1300, and Happy New Year from the Southerton's team. Thanks for listening.